How do you do, Storyteller here, and welcome back to Sherlock Holmes, The Awakened. Let's get right back into it. We have to examine the box we got from the underground hideout of the smugglers.
Nothing.
So we can see in this...
There, it is done. This is a very fine powder.
Are the same seeds we found at the fire pit where the boy was kidnapped.
Perhaps if I apply heat? That smell. Undoubtedly a derivative of opium and morphine. This is the same compound on the ball found at Stennick's place.
How goes it, Holmes? What is the result of your analysis?
Without question, this is clearly a derivative of opiate. Something still troubles me, though. The facts indicate this substance must have been used in large quantities. But no English druggist could provide such an amount. Far too risky. And I do not believe British customs would allow such a large quantity to pass through unremarked.
Well, I am convinced of quite the opposite, Holmes.
How can that be, Watson? Explain your reasoning.
Please remember that as a doctor, I am accustomed to the use of various compounds, including powerful derivatives such as distilled opiates. Those imported from the continent enjoy a special status with British customs, who do not bother the shipments and take little note of the quantities inside. Such shipments are easily identified by their labels. They always bear the identifying mark of the particular medical academy within that country, which has an agreement with our own governing academy. Though I can't determine the precise country of origin, I would swear the label scrap left on this crate is one such as this.
Doctor, I will never get to the end of your possibilities. You have solved this little riddle for us. Quickly, and waste no time, we must get ourselves to the custom inspector's office at the harbour.
What, now? Can't it wait for our tea? Oh, coming, Holmes.
Alright, let's, Let's go to the pub first. See if this, bartender has anything to say before we go down there.
Sir, did you find what you were looking for?
Yes, and no. Tell me, where can I find the customs agent?
The man's name is Beddoes, and at this time of day, you'll likely find him on the pier near a ship.
Thank you. You have been most helpful.
Pleasure to be of service, sir.
There we go. So we'll head down to the harbor. There are footprints here, but we'll come back to that. Make my way downtown, walking fast, faces passing, I'm homebound. Except not really, we're going to the harbor. So the harbor master is not here, but we can read the materials he has left behind. O'Reilly, the child came and said that Sandra was giving birth and that she claims me to be the father. The boat is clear. You will easily find the registers not far away.
Let us hope that these registers contain what we need. They must be here, somewhere. Aha, these
Right here.
must be the registers. This one concerns special imports. Nothing definite or comprehensible here. All that they mention is that these goods were stored in warehouse 16. I see nothing further of interest here. Best to leave these ledgers as we found them.
So, the first time I played through this part, I became very confused and frustrated because I walked all around this downtown area and I could not for the life of me find a warehouse 16. That's because warehouse 16 is not a warehouse at all. Warehouse 16 is the closed factory. I had no way of knowing that. I was so frustrated the first time. Then I walked back up here just to talk to the bar manager, and I passed by the
boxes
sign.
Were stored here. A careful search of the place might reveal some valuable evidence.
And I went, oh my gosh, I wasted so much time. This is not a warehouse. This is a factory. It is not the same thing.
Hold on, Watson. These traces have much to tell us.
First off, there's a key right here. Also, if we look at the footprints, oddly enough, on the right foot, there's a nail missing.
The right shoe is missing a nail. Ah, Watson, our case would have been better served if I had applied the intelligence God granted me. If you ever have a mind to chronicle this adventure, I fear your readers will be much disappointed. I should have examined that area of the warehouses with more care, because this footstep is similar to those found at Stenig's. We have only to follow to learn where they lead.
Before we do that, we'll confirm our theories by measuring the foot. The other shoe was a size 7.
The size is undoubtedly 7. The shoes are also hard-soled.
I hate that sound. Oh, so we'll follow the footsteps. They go around the building, down a set of stairs, and to a set of doors.
I need something.
And we happen to have picked up the key. Here, there's a scrap of paper.
Here is a tab. This one is less damaged.
This is the same label that was on the box, but it's much more, it's much clearer. It is the Black Edelweiss Company. Now, the point Watson made earlier was that medical companies have certain stamps and labels that allow them to bypass customs. So, with this label on any box, carton, or container, authorities in between countries wouldn't bother to check the quantities or contents of boxes, so they could be smuggling anything as long as they're using medical labels.
Excellent. We now know the source of these illicit goods. Watson, we shall now return to Baker Street. There is much to be done.
I will do that, but I'm going to save first. And we are off to Baker Street. Hello.
Have we received any word from Mycroft?
It seems to me there is a letter on the table for you. Perhaps it is from Mycroft.
Sherlock Northwood Agency is based in Boston, Massachusetts, America. They engage in a wide variety of confidential investigations, but generally they are regarded as specialists in international searches for missing people or works of art. They have been a solid reputation, built upon an outstanding record of successful results. Amos Colby was employed in Europe as one of their operatives, and he corresponds to the description you gave. Unfortunately, the details of his last case were confidential, as for now. I've included an approximate translation of the characters you discovered, though it is rough and I must admit, rather enigmatic. So this is a translation of this, which we found down in the catacombs, or down in the underground passageway, whatever we call it, where the altar was. We took a rubbing of it, and Watson's staff was able to translate it for us, and it translates to a rough poem. That your grubs go through the ether, stars like maggot in the fruit. Wait for your awakening to honor you. Light of the abyss, he is the one that you chose to show us the beauty of deep blackness. Light of abyss, he is the one who carries your mark on the body. He became one of yours. Light of abyss, for his call depths answer, and we shall answer in your name. Light of abyss, his body is seaweed, his body is octopus, his voice is your voice. Let the dream and the return of the great be fulfilled.
So, the poor devil who lay under this warehouse was indeed the owner of the passport embellished with the drawing made in blood. His thumb was gashed. He is most assuredly the one who made the drawing during his captivity. But what brought him to this place? Furthermore, if this detective agency has any standing, it rests on the reputation of its associates. They are rightly regarded as proven professionals. Therefore, this dying man's last efforts were to leave clues for those who might come after him. Remember, Watson, this man's forefinger was also coated with dust, and we found drawing drawn in that very same dust upon the floor.
Exactly, Holmes. An addition symbol was there, placed within a rectangle.
Let us consider the facts, Watson. A number of people were taken by force underneath Warehouse 12, drugged, and then transferred in boxes by ship to some as of yet unknown destination. For the moment, London has nothing more to tell us. These people, whoever they are, have a small advantage. We should give them no more. We must make our departure, but to what destination? Wait, Watson! I have a sudden thought. What do an Edelweiss and a rectangle containing an addition symbol signify to you?
Well, a rectangle with a cross in it sounds like a flag. And what flag has a rectangle and a cross and is associated with Edelweiss? I actually got this the very first try. Switzerland.
Switzerland, of course. Watson, we shall divide our tasks. I shall report the particulars of Mr. Colby's death, as this affair requires the utmost in tact and discretion.
Well, I never. Thank you, I am sure.
Watson, you know I'm impersonal, each man to his specialty. I rely on you to book passage for 2 to the continent immediately. And, Watson, see what you can learn of an institute called the Black Edelweiss and determine if it is located in Switzerland. If this place can be found, I believe it holds the answers that we seek. Now, hurry, man. The game is on.
The game is on.
Hold on, Holmes, you are reading some penny dreadful. Here I thought to find you deep in some ancient news clippings, seeking similarities with our case, and yet you waste your time reading some outlandish adventure based upon some improbable hero.
Beware of considering popular literature as unworthy of our interest, Watson. Besides, am I not myself considered by some of your readers as an improbable hero living out outlandish adventures?
Oh, Holmes, you go too far.
Let's
Do
not
I?
speak on this, Watson.
Nice statuette.
This horrible statuette gives my nerves a shake, Holmes. This trip to Switzerland, it brings back unpleasant associations, doesn't it?
Watson, those events should remain where they belong, in the past.
I'm not sure what they're
However,
referring
I will
to.
not be joining you in Switzerland. When the train arrives in Lyon, I'm afraid we must part company, as I have business elsewhere that will take some time.
But Holmes,
As a doctor, your impeccable credentials will allow you to ably advance our investigation at the Black Edelweiss Institute. My presence would likely only arouse suspicion and harm our cause. I am writing the name of a Swiss policeman on this piece of paper. He is stationed at the village near the institute and is a most reliable and capable man. Turn to him should you entertain even the slightest suspicions during your visit.
and you, Holmes?
As for me, Watson, I will investigate this case from the other side.
Ominous. Switzerland, in Black Edelweiss Institute. The 11th of September, 1894. Not a great choice of dates, but I won't fault it. It's an old game.
Keep your wits about you, Watson. Should you witness anything out of the ordinary, no matter how trifling it seems, go immediately to the valley and ask for Superintendent Bilger. I know him. He's a trustworthy fellow and has been informed of your presence in his district. He should prove to be an able ally.
I'm assuming this is a memory, as Sherlock Holmes is not with us presently.
here now. This is hardly reassuring. Coachman, wait for me here.
See if I can get a quick peek at the
I have
building.
no interest in going there.
Well, I wanted to get a look at the building. In the mountains. We're in Switzerland. The mountains are like the only draw of Switzerland. Very well. Knock knock.
How can I help you, mein Herr?
Good day, sir. I am Dr. Watson. I have just come from London and...
You must see Fraulein Muller. Please, if you could. She is over there.
She was so impatient to receive your visit. She has made remarkable progress. But the doctor can explain everything far better than I. Look, here she is now. My little daughter.
She doesn't look very healthy. But I'll leave that alone for now. What you writing? What you writing? I see you. Stop covering it. She's covering it with her hand. That definitely says something. I'd love to be able to read it, but she's definitely covering it with her hand.
Good day, miss. I am Dr. Watson. I believe you have word of my visit.
Indeed, Doctor. Your letter said you wished to speak with Dr. Gyjax. I will see if he is ready to receive you.
Thank you, miss.
Yeah, there. You're, I'm trying to read.
Good morning, Dr. Watson. I must say, I viewed your letter with both astonishment and pride. You want to know more about our methods of treatment in order to compare them with those applied in your country.
Indeed, Doctor. I am sure that we British could learn a great deal from our colleagues on the continent.
You are quite right, my dear Doctor.
Oh yeah, you're not
But
a
this
villain.
professional consultation could have been managed with greater efficiency and ease by correspondence. I'm sure you can understand my time, as is yours, is quite valuable. Pray tell, what precisely brought you to the Black Edelweiss, Dr. Watson?
It is quite simple. Through some random events, I encountered a man who was a former patient of yours. His actions suggested that he was suffering from such disorders as...
Good morning. I am Amos Colby from the Northwood Agency of Boston, Massachusetts.
Is something wrong, Doctor?
Upon my word, this man who claims to be from the Northwood Agency is an obvious fraud. The true Amos Colby died and was buried just a few days ago in London. I must now tell you everything. I am here because one of your staff has engaged in a dangerous trade between this institution and parties in England. Moreover, those activities are tied to a murderous sect.
Way to blow your cover.
And you think that this man could be one of them?
Indeed. It is entirely within reason that he is here to eliminate any traces of their criminal enterprise, if you see my meaning.
Indeed I do, Doctor. Let me show you out.
I trust that...
Please return at this same time tomorrow, and I promise I will be entirely at your disposal. But I entreat you, please maintain complete discretion on these matters. May I depend on your cooperation?
Most assuredly, but...
Oh yes, that's not sketchy at all.
Good morning, sir. How may I be of assistance?
You can start by telling your men to all take a few steps back. Then we can have a nice friendly...
Funnily enough,
Very
doesn't he
interesting.
sound familiar?
We have indications of a personality breakdown and related paranoia. I must ask you to come with me to the examination room so we can reveal your deeper problems. Do not worry. It's nothing serious.
Oh yeah, that didn't seem serious. If the voice sounded familiar, it should.
Stand where you are.
Because this is Sherlock.
If I fill it with water, the doctor will have only a harmless injection to use. And there, it is done.
Several drops alone will be enough to sedate a horse. There. That's excellent. Kunz, throw him into the holding chamber.
Way to double dip the needle.
I would feel more comfortable without this costume. However, I am here and in proper place due to Watson's singular assistance. I must remember to thank him later. Let's hope he will act according to our plan. My next move is to learn if the London kidnapper has some accomplice here.
Well, we're in a cell. There's a spoon here. And a bowl that we can take.
The nurse will return soon. I must make it appear as if I'm still here. Return soon. I must make it appear as if I'm still here. Lord, what a stench. This wretch reeks of alcohol. Taking into account his state, he has also been dosed with a good amount of some soporific.
There we go. Coat. And... hat.
This should complete the illusion of my presence. For how long, I can't be sure.
Well...
Closed. Tight.
we have a spoon. This is a puzzle. It's a very irritating puzzle, but it's one I will try to do relatively quickly. There we go. I think we've got it. There we go. Into freedom.
Closed. Tight.
Relative freedom. A lot of locked doors here. This way
It would be better to turn back.
leads upstairs, but that area is not clear yet. There are people upstairs right now.
I encourage all personnel to read Dr. Blensmoth's book. When you finish with it, please leave it here for your colleagues, Dr. Gyjax.
There's some cells here. Somebody in one of the cells.
Hey, you! What are you doing out there? Huh? You are a nurse? Come on, get me out of here.
I'm very sorry, my friend. I can't help you as I'm just passing by.
I'm not your friend. I am Maurizio. I can promise you won't get very far if you don't set me free. My cries will bring the entire hospital on your trail.
Well, my friend, I mean Maurizio, it looks like you have logic on your side, but I don't have the key to your cell, and the door looks quite solidly built. What do you make of our dilemma?
The door may be solid, but the lock is worthless. There is a room at the end of the corridor where the repairman from the mainland stores his supplies. I am positive there is a crowbar inside. The key is hidden in a crack near the door, as he's afraid of losing it. Come back for me when you get the crowbar.
Very well. There's a room at the end of the hall, and the key to the door is hidden in the crack. We got the key.
Closed. Tight.
Well, yes, that's because you need the key. There we go, and we're in. There's a few things in here to see. There's a pry bar there. Doesn't quite look like one. And then there are a bunch of pipes here, but we don't really know what we need them for yet, so we'll come back for that. Let's bring him his pry bar.
Bring me the crowbar.
Hey, yes. Here you are.
Oh, bless you. And here you are. Greetings. Careful. You best not linger here. If they find you, they will throw you down below. Into the depths. Into hell.
Really?
What's he doing there? Stop him, quickly!
Stand where you are.
Ah! Ah!
It seems that Maurizio finally attracted some attention. Excellent. Now the stairs are clear and I may return upstairs.
Up the stairs. Excellent. Something on the floor here. A set of keys.
Closed. Tight.
Don't have the key for that yet.
I am too obvious in my present attire and will attract unwanted attention. I must change my clothing.
Well, I have to find clothing somewhere then. But I have a set of keys now. Maybe these keys will unlock doors. They unlocked this set. They don't want to talk to me. Hello.
Excuse me, miss.
Go away, you swine. Leave, or I'll make you bleed.
Rude. We'll be back to talk to her later, though.
Closed. Tight.
Key doesn't fit this door. So we'll go back the other way. There's a few other ways we can go. This is the hallway we came from. A little bit turned around. Loop-de-doo, made myself dizzy. So this is the storage room with those pipes in it. There's a cell, but here's another hallway. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to save quickly. Just... Yes.
I must be careful to avoid attention.
Oh.
I should find a way to get rid of the nurses so I may quietly move about this floor and speak with the patients.
There's a patient here I can speak to, actually.
Who are you? You are not the nurse. Give them to me. I beg you.
What do you need?
Small pink crystals, please. In the laboratory.
In the laboratory. Well, where was the laboratory? There's a mechanism here, but I can't interact with that yet. So if we head back this way, that's the storage room. I believe the laboratory is right here.
I must hide and avoid the nurse, else he will raise an alarm, and I must find some means of neutralizing him. Perhaps I could put him to sleep somehow.
We probably can. There are a few things here that we can interact with. There are syringes, and there are pictures.
A medicine man is
Here
not
on the
always at
wall.
the service of life.
Depicting blow darts, which is interesting because in the storage room there are pipes. Let's see. So we have 18, 15, and 12 millimeter pipes.
I must measure them first, before taking them.
And there was no means... Oh, wait. Here we go. Measuring tool.
I must measure them... The diameter of this pipe is 10 millimeters.
10 millimeters.
The diameter of this pipe is 18 millimeters.
18.
The diameter of this pipe is 22 millimeters.
22.
The diameter of this pipe is 16 millimeters.
And 16. So we have a 12, an 18, and a 15.
The diameter of this...
If we take the 16 and combine it with the 15, We have a blowpipe with sedation medicine in it, which should, if luck favors us...
I must hide and avoid the nurse, else he will raise...
There we go, we'll use our blow dart. And we've sedated the nurse.
Well done.
Thank you. Carrying on, we can now freely move about. There's something to be seen here.
An old puppet.
A doll.
Almost as welcoming as Fraulein Muller.
Fair enough. There's a scale here, but we don't have a use for it yet. There's some bottles here.
Their laboratory seems to have all the usual equipment. If need be, I can use this.
There's a door here, which will need our spoon. I guess not. I thought we did.
This book appears to be an inventory ledger. However, it is in code, and I don't have the time to properly decipher it. I see Dr. Gyjax's signature at the bottom of each page. Interesting. This book must detail his shipments to England.
Interesting. So this is documenting the warehouse being the center point for shipping the supplies back and forth. Supplies which we don't have time to decode.
2 weeks ago.
About the time that the bodies were shipped out in the boxes.
Small pink crystals, just as that poor fellow said. There must be what he wants.
Interesting.
This product is primarily composed of potash, which, if blended in precise proportions with water and chlorine, creates a spectacular smoke. But I will also need a bottle or container of some sort. These cans won't do, they're too large.
Alright, so we have an ability to create smoke. Take the remaining stones and convert them to cash. Then buy back the rest of the goods as Schneitzer wanted. I want all of this to be settled before my departure.
This is a letter from Gyjax, as this is clearly his signature. I don't understand. Stones? What stones could he mean?
Some type of stones that they sold to buy back their equipment? Interesting. So we need water to be able to give the gentleman his pink crystals before he will create a diversion for us. I have a bucket to be able to get water from. I just need to be able to figure out how to get water, and I'm guessing I need to be able to get upstairs. Spoke to him already. He's drunk. Hello.
Oh, where are you hiding? Where?
She's a little bit delirious.
Closed. Tight.
I cannot get in there yet, I know that. I need to be able to get upstairs into this room, but I can't do so without a disguise.
I have no reason to go there. Closed. Tight.
Let's see. I could try my spoon. Ah, the spoon! Excellent. Okay, the spoon did work. Perfect. So I've got a lab coat now, and I look like a nurse.
As long as I keep my distance, I now appear as if I am a male nurse.
So now we can walk around a bit more freely, as long as we don't get too close to anybody. There's a courtyard here.
Nurse, make him stop. He must stop that.
What is the problem, madam?
Bauer must stop at once. The birds have not been fed for 2 days. Bauer must have taken the seed.
I want them to fly. Fly out, fly out. When they fly, birds will be everywhere, and all the men in white will run all around.
Extraordinary. These are all bird variants that can speak.
Fascinating. So what he said was, all the men in white, which is the guards, will run around if the birds go free. So we have to find a way to open the cage. This cage requires a special key, though. But right over here, there's a water fountain, which is precisely what we needed to bring the gentleman his medicine. We can go down, give him his medicine, and he should be able to speak to us. Might have information for us, I'm not sure. But at the very least, that's one less thing to worry about.
Here it is, my friend. You must tell me where.
Make the male nurse leave. I will tell you anything you want.
All right. Where's the key to the aviary?
The mad girl. Bring her doll to her. She knows.
I should find a way to get rid of the nurses so I may quietly move about this floor and speak with the patients.
When he says the mad girl, he's referring to the one who was a bit hostile with us at first, but she's a bit out of sorts. She seems scared, and she's talking about a girl named Heidi, I believe? Well, that just so happens to be the name of her doll that she's missing.
Look who is here to see you, miss.
Heidi! Heidi! You are here! The bad men took you away, but you came back.
Heidi told me she wanted to come back to you. She also told me that you know how to free the kind birds from their cage.
Bad men took Heidi away. They said I was a bad girl because I cut off the head of that nasty brute. But he started it. He was bad first.
He did terrible things, this bad man?
Oh, yes. He came in the night for us. He took Heidi and I to his room, near the birds. And he was very, very nasty with me. He had the key to the bird's house and said if I wasn't a good girl, he would send them away. I didn't like that, because Heidi loves the birds.
So, my child, the key to the birdhouse is upstairs in his room?
Yes, it's there. Now the lady lives there, but I am not allowed to see the birds anymore.
Thank you very much.
What is that, Heidi? Oh, you want to thank the gentleman. And you have a present for him. What a sweet girl you are. Oh, I agree. Heidi wants to thank you and says to tell you a secret. When I cut the bad man's head, she didn't want him to ever come back. So she hid the key in her belly.
Well, you're a little
We
bit
are
crazy.
in your debt, young lady, and our humble thanks to you, Heidi.
Heidi, child of the mountains.
Yeah. A little crazy, but sweet. Good intentions. Just a little crazy. That's alright though, the best of us are. But we got the key to the aviary, so we can unlock it and set the birds free.
Closed, tight.
No, it's not.
Closed, tight.
What? 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 Oh, I lied. This may be...
Now my smock will not help me. I must avoid being noticed.
This may be the key to a different door. I might have lied. It's the key to this door. This is the ladies' room, formerly the bad man's room. This is the room with the aviary key in it. Something bad happened here. She's a little bit vague, but Ugh.
Fraulein Muller does not seem particularly gifted. Truly, art in the blood can take the strangest forms.
Got a pair of spectacles. Deeply sorry, seems to have sent you the wrong spectacles. They were intended for another customer, blah blah blah.
Macrame, a healthy occupation for modern women, by Calipigi Mubala Smith Papadopoulos. And look at this, it is a signed edition.
I believe that's the weaving of these string fixtures.
Lovely piece. I must say it's the highlight of this exhibition, but I dare say it shall prove useful.
We also found a
This
bottle.
splendid macrame design is protecting the bottle.
It's a pretty modest room, other than that. There is
This must be the key to the aviary.
key in the pocket. I believe that is all to be seen in this room. Excellent. And this is the key to the aviary.
The door to the birdcage is open. Help us.
So all of the
Birds
guards,
have escaped. Quick, catch them.
Thanks
all
to
of the
panic,
guards.
all the nurses will be elsewhere, as Bao would say. While the guards are busy trying to catch the birds, I should use the opportunity to search the rest of the asylum.
All of the guards are distracted. We're now free to basically roam around wherever we please. We can start by talking to Becker, I believe is his name, who was being guarded by the nurses. He seems to be the most sane patient here out of all of them. The nurses are gone, so we can walk around a bit. But let's talk to him first. There's a cart here. We took that and put it in our pocket.
The attendant is gone.
Ah, I'm very glad. But you are not an attendant?
No, my good man, I am not. I arrived from London to investigate private charges of embezzlement against this establishment.
You came all the way from London. Why would anyone choose to come to this god-forsaken place?
Indeed, I have just arrived from London and my reasons will soon be clear. Listen to me. I know you do not belong here. You are not mad, merely the victim of a trap that only the most expert specialists could untangle. More importantly, you are the only person here who can give me the information I require. If you could speak with me, assuming your pain has not returned, I would be in your debt.
But who are you?
Someone who could guarantee your freedom once my objectives are secured. But I have little time, and you must listen to me carefully. Did you hear the staff or other inmates speak on any suspicious activities other than the horrible mistreatment you have all suffered at the hands of the staff?
You are from English customs, then. You must be interested in the arrival of illegal foreign lunatics in your country.
What makes you say this?
Well, some time ago, they removed all the foreigners from their cells, and they were never seen or heard from again. Perhaps they were shipped into your country without the usual formalities?
Those foreigners, where did they come from?
I don't know exactly, because oddly, they never associated with the rest of the inmates. They arrived regularly, 1 or 2 fellows per month.
Most peculiar. Did they speak among themselves?
I could hear them trying to talk to one another, but it seemed as if they couldn't understand each other, as if each spoke a different dialect. Also, none of them seemed mad in the least. And then there was one other odd event. They were downstairs, and it was shortly before their departure. I strained to hear them, and could barely make out their conversation. This time, they all seemed to speak the same language, and what is even stranger, they seemed to be saying the same thing repeatedly.
Chanting.
You must rest now, but don't lose hope, as I am here to help. I am afraid I must leave you now.
If you need to know other information, you can see me when you like.
So he does appear to be the most sane person here on the outside of the bars. Sorry about that. I accidentally switched off my camera. All I did was go around this corner here, and I put the cart and the holder here. This is a 2-lever mechanism. There are 2 doors. Each lever opens a door. Sherlock Holmes is creating a method to be able to open both doors from a distance without the use of another person. I don't have all that I need yet, so I'm going to explore the rest of the sanatorium and hope to come across the rest of the materials that I need. It was only a few seconds that the camera was off. I probably bumped it with my hand without realizing it. I will try to be more mindful of that in the future. So in here, I don't know if we can use it yet, but we do know that we need...
This product is primarily compatible.
Yes, some of that.
Now it can't be used for anything.
Okay. I cannot get that yet, but I do know I need water. And there is water upstairs. So I can get that, and while I'm at it, can explore more of the upstairs. The guards are still distracted, so there's nobody here to bother me.
Water.
We can get... Yes.
Water.
Yes. We can get water in the bottle. Excellent. I don't believe there's anything in here that we need, but if we come out this way...
Following the unintentional fire caused by uninspired staff members, I made the decision to forbid access to the kitchen and dining room to all staff, other than Frau Mayer and myself.
If we look through the window, there is somebody in there, though.
It is necessary to get this dragon to leave, so I can freely examine the kitchen. Perhaps if I can create smoke, she will go into a panic and leave, thinking there's a fire.
Which is what we need to do, which is the cause of the chemical reaction we're starting downstairs. I don't believe either of those doors are of use to us. So we must continue with our experiment downstairs and try to create the illusion of the fire with the smoke. That door we're able to see is inaccessible at the moment. So we need to go back. I think I passed it. To the lab. Here it is. And
Here is the bottle with adequate water. I must calculate its capacity as accurately as possible if my smoking apparatus is to work.
So we have water in the bottle. We need to figure out how much is in here, which is easy. There's a scale here.
Now I know the exact capacity of the bottle.
We can use our bucket.
Here now, I must take care to measure the precise dose.
There we go. And we can...
A
the
scale.
bucket.
This won't be of any use to me.
Yes, it will. Right now, it will.
And there, it is done.
We can mix them together. But not yet, because we're not actually at the site we want to create the smoke at. We can go back to the kitchen. This way. Up the stairs. Through the door. We'll want to create the concoction at the kitchen, so we're not spouting smoke behind us. Here we go.
It is necessary to get...
Yes, do it. Do it. Am I losing my mind? Have I lost it? Let's go back downstairs, find out what we're missing. I don't know what I did wrong. I thought I had it all together. Don't know what I could possibly need. We'll find out. Down once more to the dungeons of my black despair. Down we plunge to... Oh, here we go. La-da-dee, la-da-dee. Well, we've got it then, so what do we need? Oh,
The ratio of
chlorine.
chlorine to water must be precise, as too much will be dangerous.
Well then let's measure it, because we're measuring everything today. It's a theme.
A scale. This won't be of any use to me.
What do you mean it won't be of any use to me? Here.
My smoking device is ready. I must say, a room filled with smoke shall be difficult to examine, but there is no other way.
To the kitchen. Don't know why everything is being sung today. But it's a singing type of day. So we have our smoke bottle, which we can place at the door of the kitchen when we get there eventually. Or maybe here. Is it here? Or is it here? She's not the brightest crayon in the box, but we'll forgive her.
A truss for roast beef.
Hildegard found a bag still full of birdseed. 3 short bells, then a long one. This will send the lift back up to the doctor's office. Interesting, that will be important for later. And then, is that all we needed? I do believe it is. There was nothing left in here. Oh, there was. There's an anvil here that we can grab. Yes, you heard me right. I'm toting around a full-size, heavy anvil. But that's alright, because we're going to drop it off right here, which it looks a lot smaller once we got here.
I need something.
Yes, there's a lot we need. We've got the rope, which we've got all the way over there.
The only solution is to find a method. These levers are well oiled.
So if we go in, and we pull the rope, excellent,
And there, it is done.
and then we can go through the doors, and there's another lever here, which opens both doors, and that puzzle is completed. We can go down the stairs, very castle-like, down to the dungeon. You can see why they call it hell now. There's a person here.
3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 5 is 10.
Pardon me, sir. Could I trouble you for some information?
Nasty, nasty cheat. I shall say nothing to you. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 8 is 24. I shall speak only to Professor Schwartz. He understands that I have learned all my lessons. 3 times 9 is 27.
Apparently he will speak only with this professor.
Interesting, we'll have to find
Perhaps
out
the
who
medical
his
files on this
professor
man
is.
Wolf will be helpful.
Hopefully. Alright. Well, there's a left and a right. I'm gonna go left first because left is best. There's a sewer grate here. And there's blood outside the door.
There should be a passageway leading from one side to the other of this wall. Perhaps someone here knows something about it.
Perhaps.
This door is quite solidly built, but the lock is rudimentary. Never again will I go out on a case without a small spoon at my side, though likely Watson would envy me this valuable implement.
Of course. There we go. I think we've got it. Oh. Well, that's delightful.
This well must empty directly into an underground river. My God, there is a body inside. I'm glad I spared Watson this horror. This place conceals deeds far more sinister than the mere traffic in dangerous goods.
Lovely.
These are the tools of a butcher. These are the tools of a...
Oh, there's a key
Who
here.
could have forgotten this?
Someone very forgetful. Well, that was charming. Here we go. There's an office here.
Closed, tight.
Complications, big delay. Goods will be ready on time, need money, because no more stones.
A cable from New Orleans sent in the last few weeks. If the shipment of these goods from New Orleans relies upon a transfer of funds from Europe, it is possible the actual exchange won't take place for a few weeks. There may still be time to intervene.
Yes, sir. First of all, jewelers we contacted, made several offers. Jewel account. Okay, so precious gems, which refer to the stones talked about earlier.
There's a small label that says classroom. Closed, tight. Closed, tight.
Alright, we don't have the key for that yet. There are 2 levers here, but we cannot interact with those yet. It's not time. Ew.
The Worship of Ghouls by Count Derlet. I do not think this book would give the reader pleasant dreams if reserved for bedtime reading.
That's terrifying.
I don't know what this Guy Jacks studied, but judging by his office and what I saw before, he is more dangerous than any of his patients.
Ew. Wolf is the patient.
This man seems to suffer from every possible mental affliction. Judging by the date of his admission, he must be one of the oldest patients here. The former hospital director researched his case and mentions Wolf's professor. Apparently, he was the only person of influence with the poor fellow. There is even a portrait of the late professor included in with the reports.
So if I were to look like this guy, supposedly, I might be able to get him to speak to me.
So this is Professor Schwartz. I can pick this lock. This lock is too complex for this tool.
Key?
I can pick this lock.
I can pick this lock. I'd love to know how.
I can pick this lock.
How?
This lock is too... I can pick this lock.
With what? With what? Pray tell.
I can pick this lock. I can pick this lock.
With what? The spoon.
This lock is too complex for this tool.
What can I pick the lock with? I don't know. What else is there down here? What do I have? Classroom key, wherever that is. Oh. The guy upstairs. He said I could come back and talk to him. Perhaps he would know more about this wolf.
I believe
Yes.
I'm close to finding what I need. Do you know this man downstairs? The one perpetually reciting his multiplication tables?
Yes, he is Wolf. But you will get nothing from him. He will only speak with one man, this Professor Schwartz. But I believe he died a long time ago.
Perhaps the medical files on this man Wolf will be helpful.
Probably. Well, we got a key to a classroom. Let's see if we can find the classroom door. Not there. Yeah. Not that one. There were 2 doors side by side. Not here. Here? No. Where were they? There were 2 doors side by side. If I went right and then left, are they these doors? No, that's the well. There were 2 doors, were there not? We've been in there. Am I losing my mind? Were there not 2 doors that I couldn't get into before? Are they up here? Is that why I'm lost? Are they up here? These doors. Classroom. I bet that says classroom in, I don't know, Swiss. There's a stool, which is not a stool at all. It's a headlock and footlock mechanism, which is awful.
It must be used to punish insolent pupils. Slightly excessive.
Slightly. Slightly, he says. With a cage. There's a fake beard here.
This should prove useful. And now, time to become the good Professor Schwartz and pay a visit to Wolf.
In due time. Dr. Isaacs, as your staff informed me, you cannot see me before my departure. Oh, that's a very long letter. If you want to, I'll pause on each frame. You can read this in your own time.
Who is this anonymous patient? Perhaps there's a file on him, as with the other patients.
Anonymous patient. We'll look it up. But I could not read all of that. My voice is not up for it. But we can head back downstairs now with the information we've collected. We'll look for the patient's file, and we can dress up as the professor now. Let's do that first. We actually have to combine the beard with the spectacles, don the costume.
So, Wolf, I see you have mastered your lesson. Splendid.
Professor Schwartz?
I congratulate you, Wolf. I cannot say the same about your other classmates. I am most unhappy with their behavior, because it seems they have been cheating.
Professor Schwartz, you saw them, didn't you? I know my lessons. I always work so hard, and the others, they crib from me.
I know, my boy, I know. But their leader, he is a doctor, isn't he?
Yes, Professor, yes. He is the most vile member of the group. Sometimes he tries to keep me from my lessons. He says he will treat me like the others who don't speak like us and who scream so very loud when he punishes them. But I keep to my lessons and recite my tables all the day. He can't stop me.
That's good, my boy. You have made me proud. Now, I need your help. Where do they meet? I must find them and make sure they get the punishment they so rightly deserve.
They meet over there. But it is well hidden, and only the doctor has the code. First, he makes noise with the fire near his office. Afterwards, he makes noise with the fire in front of me. And then he makes noise behind me. You will see he does not know his lessons.
Thank you, Wolf. That's a clever boy. You have earned high marks this term. But for now, you must try to recite your lessons in silence. Since I am the professor, I know and see everything. There is never a need to shout.
As you say, Professor Schwartz.
I don't need it anymore.
But I just took off my disguise in front of him. He mentioned making a noise in front of him, behind him, and in the office. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking out loud. We wanted to search for the name of the mysterious patient. the unknown patient.
Ah, here's the file I was seeking. It can only be our mysterious patient. What a strange character.
He was recovered on a riverbank, almost dead. Fits of anger. Cranial fracture, amnesia. Interesting.
I haven't examined everything yet.
Yes. There's this one. Ta-da!
It works. Simplicity itself.
Simplicity itself. And right around the corner, there's more markings like there were in the smuggler's den. And here, there's a man?
My apologies, but I do not understand what you're trying to say. If I may introduce myself, I am...
Who you are means nothing. All that matters is your reverence to the One. You came to invoke the Great Lord with the speaking, and now I ask you, who am I, you wretched mortal?
Well, interestingly enough that you should ask, we actually received the answer to that from Mycroft, if I can find it, in the strange poem from the words inscribed on the altar where the sacrifice happened. He is the one that you chose to show us the beauty of deep blackness. He is the one who carries your mark on the body. He became one of yours. We shall answer in your name. His body is seaweed. His voice is your voice. He is Light of Abyss.
Even your pitiful mind can find enlightenment before serving as food for the servants of chaos.
Where are all those poor souls kidnapped in London? And what about the others who passed through here in their travels?
Your search is in vain. You are nothing to the great Lord. Soon he will heed our call, when those titans will be reassembled for the awakening of their king. The sleeping Lord shall walk the earth. You and your kind will tear your flesh when you learn how your lives insult the great Lord and Master. You will plead for the abyss, as have all those before you who fed the Great One. Those who give their weak flesh to our Lord cry for his return. So shall you. He has lain dreaming, silent, hungry, awaiting his followers. Tremble in awe. Behold, the Great One returns.
He makes so much noise. I better be on my way before he attracts the entire staff.
Well, we better make our way to the office. To the office. Office. Not the office. To the office. And I believe, if I remember the note correctly, it's 3 short, 1 long.
I haven't examined everything yet.
I have examined everything yet. Have I not been in
I
here?
can pick this lock.
I don't know how to pick this lock.
I can pick this lock. I can pick this lock. This lock is too complex for this tool.
Well, what do you want me to do?
I need a name to continue my research.
Well, oh, the fire poker. Of course.
This lock is too complex for this tool.
Oh my.
Oh my god.
My sentiments exactly.
The faint signs remaining on this blackboard are in phonetics. It appears that people were forced to recite some text with no real understanding of its meaning. It's a pity that the text was erased. I feel great pity for the patients who must have been tied to this machine. What's this? A battery with a crank starter. No doubt used to stimulate his patients. A notebook detailing the experiments conducted by Mr. Gyjax.
Again, very long, but just details of his experiments.
These birds are from the aviary. They served a purpose beyond mere decoration.
Is this all to be seen? Can I leave now? Before we're discovered?
I haven't examined everything yet.
What have I not discovered? Oh, this.
Closed, tight.
There we go. Letters.
Unbelievable. These letters are from various Swiss banks and show that the doctor made several sales of precious stones over these last months, and each time for higher profit. He must have access to a real treasure. I see numerous transfers were made to an account holder in the Bank of London and another in a bank here in New Orleans. I must take note of these transactions.
To keep light, my master close at hand. New Orleans, make sure they have what they need. Interesting.
Hold on. There's an oily stain on this letter. It smells of iodine. Interesting.
Okay, is that all we need now? Oh, thank goodness. Let's get out of here. There we go. 3 short, 1 long. We got that from the letter that we found before. Alright. Into the elevator before we're discovered. That's a very cramped elevator. There we go. And we are in the lower levels of the asylum. This is where I'm going to leave it off for now. Thank you guys so much for joining me so far. I hope you're enjoying the video and the game. I certainly am. Even though I've played through this part before, it is still very enjoyable for me. So thank you guys so much for watching so far, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!